Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys, like I promised you yesterday, I'm going to be doing my Harpies deck profile. Now Harpies are a deck that I originally wanted to pick up when they first came out over a year ago, but even up until Joey's World Collection, they were still pretty expensive, so I waited for the price to go down, and I picked up the deck in late February of this year, and I really thoroughly enjoy playing the Harpie deck. The only reason why people really don't play it right now is because Artifacts is a main deck right now, so Harpie's Hunting Ground kind of messes up with helps. It's kind of like Gravekeepers against Dark World with Royal Tribute. Not a good combination. Harpie's Hunting Ground against Artifacts. Not a good combination. But besides that, the deck is very good. And Hysteric Sign is such a great card. Harpie's Hunting Ground is like a walking MST, so you can just destroy back row against back row heavy decks. It's just such a good, versatile deck, I find. And I do not own a Dragosack, but its rank 7 XYZs are so good because of its ability to go for Big Eye and Dragosack. And the rank 4 Harpie builds are just as good as the rank 7 Harpie builds I've seen. So very versatile, very good. And without further ado, I'll get to the deck profile for you guys. But please remember, I do not own a Dragosack, so you're not going to see a Dragosack in this deck profile. So without further ado, let's get started. So guys, first off, we run 3 Harpie Channeler. I want to let you guys know that there will be a deck list down in the description below, as well as a link to some duel videos that I did on Dev Pro using this deck. So that will be all down in the description below. But first off, we run 3 Harpie Channeler. Harpie Channeler helps you go for your rank 7 plays like Dragosack and Big Eye, even though I do not own a Dragosack, as well as it helps you go for rank 4 plays. But its pitching ability of pitching your Harpie to the graveyard helps set up for later Hysteric Party plays, I find. So you can pitch a Harpie monster, and later on you can bring that Harpie monster back with Hysteric Party. Next, we have 3 Harpie's Queen. Harpie's Queen is pretty much your Commandant if you want to compare it to Gravekeepers with some other cards. By pitching the Harpie Queen, you get to search out Hunting Ground from your deck. She's also very useful because she is 19 attack, and with Hunting Ground on the field, she becomes a pretty big beat stick. And plus, by pitching her to the graveyard, you also can set up again for some later Hysteric Party plays. So that's a nice little add-in effect you can set up for future plays. Next, I run 1 Cyber Harpie Lady and 2 Harpie Lady number 1s. People always debate about should you run 3 Harpie Lady number 1s. I mean, I've seen people run 3 Harpie Lady number 1s, and I've seen people run 2 Cyber Harpie and just 1 Harpie Lady number 1. It's completely player preference. I mean, do I find a major difference between running, 3 Harpie Lady number 1s and just one instead of just running a Cyber Harpie and 2 Harpie Lady number 1s? Not really. I mean, there's never been a time like, oh, I wish I had another Harpie Lady number 1. I mean, Cyber Harpie Lady is good if you draw it and you can use it as a beat stick to get over other monsters. So she's very useful in that respect, which is why I like her in the spot, because if you draw her, you can use her as a beat stick. If you search her out, you can use her as a beat stick or use her as fodder. There's not really a major difference like running 3 Harpie Lady number 1s or just running 2. I really don't find a major difference. The main reason I can hear people saying why they run 3 Harpie Lady number 1s is because of the fact that they want to use the effect of Harpie Lady number 1 after they go off with Hysteric Party. But I've never been like, when I go off Hysteric Party, being like, oh, I wish I had another Harpie Lady number 1. I've never been like that situation, and I've played this deck, online since it first came out, so I've never run into that scenario at all, really. So, 2 Harpie Lady number 1s and 1 Cyber Harpie. Next, 2 Harpie Dancer. Some people like running 3 Harpie Dancer. The only reason why I can hear people running 3 Harpie Dancer is because of the fact that they want to keep their Harpie count up for things like Harpie's Channeler and Hysteric Party and whatnot. But 2 Harpie Dancer is all I've really needed. Helps you pop back row. There's a whole bunch of cool plays you can do with her. I mean, she's probably one of the reasons why Mist Valley got limited to 1. I would say she's probably one of the reasons why that card's now at 1. But very good card. Next, I run 1 Harpie's Pet Dragon. I run 1 Harpie's Pet Dragon because, I mean, some people like running more than 1 Harpie's Pet Dragon, but I find that running more than 1 Harpie's Pet Dragon can get cloggy. I mean, people say they run more than 2 because of the fact that they can, you know, if worst case scenario that you can pitch it with Channeler to get another one out, but I don't know. I mean, I've debated about maybe making it 2, but every time I play 2 Harpie's Pet Dragon, it just gets a little bit too cloggy for me. I mean, besides pitching it with Channeler, there's no other way to really get it out of your hand unless you want to run things like Phoenix Wing Blast and other cards like that. But I think 1 is enough. I mean, it helps you go into your rank 7 plays, but if you don't get, you know, if you draw it, that's fine. You can go into 101 to steal opponent's monsters away instead of making Big Eye. I mean, it's player preference, really. If you want to make this deck more of a rank 7 engine or just make it more of a rank 4 engine. Next, I run 2 Summoner Monk. Summoner Monk, I love Summoner Monk and I hate Summoner Monk. Because summoning Summoner Monk, pitching Hysteric Party, at the end of the turn you get Hysteric Party's effect off, is so good. It's such a power play. I mean, first turn, that's like your ultimate first turn, going Summoner Monk, pitching Hysteric Party. Such a good first turn play. But sometimes he can get cloggy when you open up 2 Summoner Monk and no spells. It does happen from time to time. But the pros outweigh the cons, I would say, with Summoner Monk. But that's why I run 2 of them. Next, I won 1 Zephyros the Elite, Blackwing-Zephyros the Elite. Such a versatile card in this deck. You can bounce back your Fiendish Chains. I've even bounced back my field spell cards so I can get extra damage in. So I would go Zephyros the Elite, bounce back Hunting Ground, go Hysteric Party, get all the Harpies back because my opponent may not have no back row, and I would otherwise have to pop Hunting Ground, then reactivate Hunting Ground so they get that attack boost and just go off from there. I mean, there's just so many plays you can do with this card. It's so versatile in this deck. Next, I'm testing out 1 Thunder King. Now, this is pretty much the 40th card in the deck that, at the end of the day, this card could be anything. I mean, I'm trying out another Icarus Attack, another Harpie's Pet Dragon. I'm trying out so many different things, but for right now, I'm just running Thunder King, Rai-Oh. And he actually is very good in the deck. You may think, well, does he mess up with Hysteric Party, with Harpie Queen, and, you know, they're pitching and adding cards to hand? Sometimes he does, but for the most part, you have enough decent traps where you can sit on 2 or 3 traps, go Thunder King, and it's so nice when you can go Hysteric Party, then you can summon summon your Thunder King after you make all your special summoning plays, and you do all your derpiness, so you can go Hysteric Party, make all your XYZs, do all your plays, and then go normal summon Thunder King, you know, doing the end phase so your opponent can't activate, you know, special summon monsters, you know, to retaliate if they get like 1,000 life points with 2,000 life points left after going off Hysteric Party. And plus your opponent has to waste resources to get around Thunder King. And then after they waste resources getting around Thunder King, you can attack with your Harpies and just start picking them off because they've wasted resources to get over 1 card, which people still do to get over Thunder King. They have to waste resources to get around them still. So I do like the 1 Thunder King. I am trying out other cards though, so please keep that in mind. Next, I run 3 Harpies Hunting Ground. Probably one of the best field spell cards in the game. I would say probably in the top 5 best field spell cards in the game. Such a good card. It gives attack boost, and as well as popping opponent's back row. Such a good card. Next, I run 3 Hysteric Sign. I mean, Hysteric Sign is such a good card. I mean, it's what made Harpies a viable deck, I would say. I mean, there's so many ways to get this card off. I mean, I just love this card. This is the card when you get this in Summoner Monk, or you know, you can get a Harpie's Hunting Ground, and you know, you can pop your Hysteric Sign, and there's just so many ways to get it off, and it's such a power card. It's so good. I can't say that enough. It's such a good card. Next, we run 2 MSTs. I know the deck is pretty much a walking MST, you know, blowing up your opponent's back row, but you do run into problems that like Skill Drain or Royal Decree, sometimes, which I've run into late in game. Skill Drain just can hurt this deck sometimes. But the MSTs do come in handy against things like Fiendish Chain, if they trap Fiendish Chain something, or anything of that nature. So that's why I still run the MST. You don't have to, but I still find it necessary, and it's very helpful. And worst case scenario, you can pitch a MST to get a Summoner Monk off. Next, I won 1 Elegant Egotist. Very, very good card. Next, just as a tech-in, I won 1 Smashing Ground. It's just a player preference card. I really like it because it's good 1-for-1 monster removal. Plus, it doesn't target monsters, so if the card says cannot be targeted, Smashing Ground doesn't target it, so you can destroy that monster. I just like Smashing Ground as a card. Plus, you could pitch it off Summon a Monk because it is a spell card. For your other one-ofs, 1 Book of Moon. Really find this card very versatile still. And 1 Dark Hole. 2 just good generic cards. Dark Hole, always a good card. Book of Moon, there's so many ways to use Book of Moon. I find a very versatile card. For your traps, 3 Hysteric Party. Oops, they're sticking together, I apologize. 3 Hysteric Party there. Hysteric Party, it can get cloggy at sometimes, but it's such a good card. I mean, it's pretty much bring all your Harpies back and just go off. It's such a good card. I personally feel like this card should be limited. It's that powerful a card, I feel like. But that's just me talking here. But I really like the card. I really like the artwork. It's amazing. But it's such a good card to go off after your opponents, if you've drained your opponents of your resources, and then late game you go flip up Hysteric Party, go off. Usually you win the duel. I mean, especially if you've gone off with 2 Hysteric Signs. I mean, if you go off with 2 Hysteric Signs and a Harpie deck in a duel, you usually win the duel. I've never lost after going off with 2 Hysteric Signs. So, other traps I run is 2 Deep Prisons. They're just 2 good cards right now. Just banish a monster. Just banish a monster that attacks. 2 Fiendish Chain. I really like Fiendish Chain because the versatility to stop your monster's effects as well as stop them from attacking you as well. Breakthrough Skill can't do that. Yes, you can activate Breakthrough Skill twice per turn, but it's not permanent. If the thing's Fiendish Chain, it can't do nothing. Plus, you can use Zephyros the Elite with this card, plus the fact that it can stop monsters from attacking you. So, that's why I like Fiendish Chain. If you want to run Breakthrough Skill, go right ahead. For your other cards, 1 Icarus Attack. I really like this card, but I may bump it up to 2. I'm still playing around with that. With the Thunder King, even making it another Icarus Attack, or a whole bunch of other cards like I talked about earlier. Icarus Attack works very well in this deck, though. 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device, 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 1 Torrential Tribute, and 1 Solemn Warning. Just very good trap removal cards. For your extra deck, just please remember I do not own a Dragosack, so you will not see a Dragosack in my extra deck. If I had the money, I would get a Dragosack, but it's just too expensive for me. So first off, we have 2 Lightning Chidori. Very, very good card. I would probably say that Lightning Chidori is probably one of the best. It would probably be in the top 10 best XYZ monsters out there right now. It's probably in the top 10, I would say. Lightning Chidori is such a good XYZ monster. Definitely a staple. After you go off with the Hysteric Party, you can go to Lightning Chidori. For your rank 7s, my number 11 Big Eye, as well as my number 74 Master of Keyblades. The only reason I would run Dragosack also, but I don't, like I said earlier, I don't own it, so I just run Big Eye and Master of Keyblades. Also, for your rank 4s, I won 1 number 101 Silent Arc Honors Knight, such a good card. 1 Abyss Dweller, very good card. 1 Blackship, just another good card. And 1 Maestroke the Symphony Djinn. I still find him to be a very versatile card. For your other rank 4s, we run 1 number 103 Ragnazero. 1 Diamond Direwolf. Diamond Direwolf works well because of these monsters are pretty much all winged beast. 1 Photon Papilloperative. 1 Ice Beast Zerofyne The Elite. Very good card. If you want to run more than 1 Ice Beast Zerofyne Elite, you can, but that's player preference, I find. For your other rank 4s, just in case, I won 1 Harpie's Pet Phantasmal excuse me, let me pronounce that again. 1 Harpie's Pet Phantasmal Dragon, very good card, especially after a Hysteric Party. 1 Crazy Box, just in case of skill drain. 1 number 82 Heartlandraco. If you want to run, something else besides Heartlandraco, you can. I know Harpie's Phantasmal Dragon is kind of like Heartlandraco, but sometimes you only have 2 monsters and you can just end the game there. So I just put them in there just because I have the space for right now. Also, I run just as 2 tokens, just for fun. I run just for fun, guys, just as tokens. I run 1 Harpie's Pet Baby Dragon. I always keep these in the side deck just for fun. Well, not the side deck, just in the deck box. I always keep in the deck box Harpie's Pet Baby Dragon and Harpie's Girl, just because I really like the cards. So that is the Harpies deck, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So, guys, I hope you all enjoyed that Harpies deck profile. I mean, I personally really enjoy playing with the deck. It's one of the decks that I play a lot right now. I mean, you may think of a couple of cards that may want to change, you know, if you want to play it more competitively because of things like artifacts and whatnot, like maybe bumping Hunting Ground down to 2 instead of 3, or things of that nature, like taking out the MSTs maybe. But that's depending upon your, where you play and who you're playing against, I would say. And what you know you're going to go into more or less when you go into a tournament setting. So besides that, it's a very fun deck to play. It's still a very good deck to play, and I thoroughly enjoy playing with it. But like I said before, guys, there will be a deck list down below in the description, as well as some duel videos of me using the deck on Dev Pro. So without further ado, guys, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling to all of you, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video very much because I really like Harpies in there. Such a cool deck to play. But till next time, guys, Seto Kaba, I'm out of here, guys.